Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Dolores Tarver. I'm a licensed psychologist here in Georgia, and it is time for the TT Time with Dr. Tarver is a wellness-based podcast. It is not intended to be a substitute for a relationship with a licensed mental health provider. Hey y'all, we are rocking the mini mental health moment, so make sure you check out Running Interference and Who's Holding You Accountable that was dropped earlier this month, and let's get into it. So, at this point in your life, you have likely experienced creating goals for yourself. If you have not and you need some tips on goal setting, check out my episode from 2023 entitled Change, Consistency, and Clarity Setting and Reaching Your Goals. It'll help you get those things in order. But if you have set goals, then you likely have also run into a point in your life where your goals were not necessarily consistent with the spaces, places, and people with whom you were engaged. Now, you may have a wellness goal that's focused on healthy eating. It could be reducing alcohol. Maybe you want to quit smoking. But you find that the people around you are not quite on the same page. And so when you're around them, you find yourself sliding right back into those old patterns and habits you said you wanted to cease in this new season. Maybe you work at a place and you want to get a promotion. You want more responsibility so you can gain additional experience. That'll allow you to be more competitive for other jobs. But somebody said, well, you're not quite ready yet. Or, are you sure that's the path that you want to take? That's not really where I see you going with this company. Or maybe you were considered, but they told you you weren't selected. And you find that continues to be their narrative, but they can't really tell you what you need to do, why other people are being chosen over you, or they're telling you some things, but they don't seem to be big things. And you know that you've got more experience, qualifications, and a better work ethic than the people that are getting promoted above you. Perhaps you said this year, I am not going to take this same relationship into 2024. Or maybe I want to change some patterns that I have had in relationships that I realize just not real healthy. I want to be a healthier me. I want to be a healthier partner in relationships. Or perhaps you recognize I'm kind of codependent. I jump from one relationship to another, and I want to actually take some relationship sobriety after this breakup and not just jump right back into another relationship. But as you well know, when you set a relationship goal, here comes that person calling you, texting you, DMing you, sending you a smoke signal, message in a bottle. They're going to pull up on you. And then here you are finding yourself exactly where you said you didn't want to be in 2024. Maybe this was the year you were going to curb your spending habits, focus on financial growth, invest. Maybe you're saving for a house, a car, trying to move out. But here's the homies and the homettes pulling up, and now you are full of regrets and not as much full of cash. So let's get into some of the strategies, right? So in this episode, I'm going to really be very kind of pinpointing the environment and the people in your life so that you can get much more alignment with your goals. So I do want to say to start that you do actually have to have a clear, manageable goal before you can be in alignment with any other aspects of your life. So if you have skipped that step, then let's roll it on back and actually get that goal created first. But after you have that good, solid goal, it's reasonable, it's manageable, it's measurable, then it's important to take a look at your patterns. Sometimes we are in spaces with people that are just not capable of being in alignment with our goals. And I know that this is a hard conversation for people because we like to hoard. We don't like to let people go. We're so concerned about what will happen if I let this person go. What will my life look like? What if I need them? We treat them like they're some of those reusable plastic containers. Even though you don't have the lid for them, you're still going to hold on to it. That one earring that you have, but you can't find the other one, and you haven't had the matching pair in 3 years, but you still have it. That pair of underwear that is just as holy as it can be and raggedy and torn, but you refuse to go get a new pair because it's comfortable. So sometimes people aren't going to actually be able to be in alignment because they don't want us to be successful. And I know that that is difficult for us to accept, that people in our lives don't want us to be successful. They don't want us to grow. They don't want us to move. But as I've shared with you, that sometimes if you make changes, then people lose the benefits that they received when you were stuck in the patterns that weren't allowing you to be able to be the best version of yourself. And when people are not invested in your growth, they want you to be stagnant. They want you to stay in this system that they say is supportive, but it really isn't. Then you do have to make a tough decision about that. Sometimes I can't align my goals with my support system. Sometimes I have to align my support system with my goals. And that may mean, get your words together. It may mean that it is time for you to leave a person, leave a social network, leave a job, because there isn't any way you're actually going to get in alignment. They're not prepared to be able to help you in that process, to stick with you in that journey, to guide you, to hold you accountable. Sometimes you're going to be the person that's rooting for yourself, and there isn't going to be any of those people rooting for you, which is okay, because you do need to be able to advocate for yourself. Now, sometimes people will show up for you, but you have not given them an opportunity to do so. You haven't actually told them your goal. You have expected them to, maybe through osmosis or mind reading, understand how they need to support you, but you haven't been clear about what that would look like. You haven't told your manager that you want to move up in the company, that you want to get more experience. And sometimes people haven't seen that part of you, and so it is different. That doesn't mean they can't be supportive, but you might have to sell them on it. You may have to let them know, here is why I am worthy of being invested in. Here is why, people in my life, I am rocking this goal. And if you get on board with me, you're going to see the benefits of it too. It is okay for you to be able to talk to people about those goals and why they're important and why they should support you, because we have a tendency to expect people to do things that we've never actually told them we need. So that's okay for you to be able to do it. But what you don't have to do is beg and plead with people for them to show up for you when you know that they are consistently not showing up for you, and that the likelihood of them showing up is just not real probable, right? Because past behavior is often the best predictor of future behavior. Y'all haven't shown up for me in 10 years. You're likely not going to show up for me now. And so if I have difficulty letting people go, here's your plug for therapy. You may need to go to better understand your patterns and why it's hard for you to walk away from people, and why it's hard for you to actually walk in your worth. Because sometimes when you walk in your worth, you do have to walk away from your wants. And I don't mean the WANTS, I mean the WON apostrophe TS, the people that won't show up for you, the people that won't actually be in alignment with your goals, the people that won't be there when you need them and hold you accountable, right? So when you have all of those wants in your life, the will nots, if you will, then sometimes it's very important for you to be able to find a support system that is already intact, in place, which means you're going to have to step out that comfort zone, because sometimes if you stay with people that do not support you, they become sacrifices and not supports. So once you bring yourself into alignment, you will be able to see all that you can truly be. Okay, be well.